All right, guys, we're getting our spinner baits ready to go. I'm Jacob Wheeler, and I'm going to show you guys how to get after it with a spinner bait in the fall. It's cloudy, it's windy, it's rainy, and it's about the perfect conditions you can ask for throwing a spinner bait in the fall time, especially for these smallmouth. Come on, I'm going to show you a few things. All right, guys, so right now we're getting ready, preparing which spinner bait to pick from and what combination of blades do I need to throw. I mean, this is one thing that I've been asking myself for years. I mean, it's a lot of it's trial and error, but there's a little bit a method of understanding what to throw and when to throw it. Right here we have a lot of willow leaf combinations, double willows, which is in the fall time of the year, especially for smallmouth and clear water situations, you want to move that spinnerbait pretty fast. So, if I was in dirtier water situations, I might throw a Colorado blade or double Colorados or a Colorado Indiana, where you want a little bit more thump. Especially in the springtime, it slows that spinnerbait down and allows it to stay in the strike zone a little bit longer. But in the fall time of the year, when the water's cooling down, these fish have been, their metabolism has been high, so they're coming from hot to cold, so they'll go chase down a bait. So, right here we have 4 different colors of blade combinations, or blades, on a half-ounce head. And what color, do you choose with just a blade combination is something that's important as well, because a lot of times smallmouth, especially in this circumstance today, is trying to find something that they can visually see. Smallmouth are very much so sight feeders, so on a day where it's really flat, calm, and slick, I might throw, double silver blades. Right here's a couple gold ones. Double silver blades with a real translucent skirt to be real natural. But on a day like today when it's cloudy and windy and rainy, what I'm going to throw first is either a painted blade, so either chartreuse with a white skirt or white chartreuse skirt, or double willow white blades with maybe white or white and chartreuse. Now after I pick the right frame and the blade color that I'm going to use, next is the skirt, so we're going to slide down in here. Since I decided I'm going to go with the white half-ounce, the white double willow blades, I'm going to get in here and get in my skirt box. Now, if the water is somewhat clear, I still might try to make it a little bit translucent, even in this situation. So I'm going to look through here, try to find something I like. We got a lot of different colors. White, I'm not going to do that one. You know what? This is what we're going to roll with. We're going to roll with a little bit of a blue glimmer with a little chartreuse. And a lot of times that's all it is. It's a little bit of a feel. Whatever you personally think, you look in the tackle box, like, man, that looks good, pick it out and try it out. Because a lot of times it's trial and error. I can't tell you, hey, you might be catching them on a pink spinnerbait in the middle of, the afternoon when it's flat calm and totally disprove my theory on stuff. But that's part of bass fishing, and that's what makes it fun, is we all have our own little, own little techniques, our own little baits that we really like to throw. So it's a lot about feel and a lot about what you think the conditions set up. But most of the time, the trial and error thing, if it's sunny and flat calm, more translucent, more natural, windy, raining, low light, more brighter colors tend to work. And we're just going to try this a little bit of chartreuse with this little blue glimmer skirt. We'll thread him on there. And we're going to try that sucker out and see if it works. Now that we've picked the spinnerbait blade combination, color, and color of the skirt, it's time to tie it on. And one thing that I will tell you is spinnerbaits and moving baits in general, you don't need to have really light line. Obviously finesse tactics, it's good to throw 8, 10, 12 pound line, but I'm going to be throwing 17 to 20 pound line. A lot of times it's a reaction strike and getting those fish's attention. So bumping it up in line size, even if the water is super clear, it shouldn't matter too much. All right, now we're going to select a trailer to put on our spinnerbait. I personally like throwing a trailer on my spinnerbait for one main reason, and that is to give those fish to hold on to something. When they get that spinnerbait up there and they grab a hold of this thing, they don't have anything to really inhale. And that's something that, you get a lot of short strikes on a spinnerbait, you get a lot of fish that slap at it. And throwing a trailer hook, I will still throw a trailer hook when I throw a trailer on that bait, but I definitely feel like I get more fish to commit to the bait with a trailer on the back of it than without. So right here we have a couple different choices. We have a little cross style bait. So if I'm trying to fish in dirtier water, I'll throw like a white one. I just wanted to put this for an example. With a little bit of action to slow your spinnerbait down in dirtier water situations or colder water situations. We have a little grub right here, and we have a little swim bait. Right now I'm going to pick the swim bait. It's going to have a little bit less drag, and I can move a little bit faster. We're going to see if that one works and go from there. All we got to do is thread him on. Good to go. I will put a trailer hook on this right there, put a little 1/0. And that's another thing I will say is I don't like to have a giant trailer hook on the back on this bait, because one thing that those fish, it seems like I have a lot better, do a little bit better with a 1/0 style or less, a size 1 trailer hook, than throwing a big 2/0 or 3/0. They just don't seem to, I don't know if it's they can see it or what. It just seems like the 1/0 or less on the trailer hook works better for me. So we'll stick this on there. We're good to go. And you'll see that I like to keep it like that. I like to put my trailer hook on, and then having that trailer allows it to only swing it so far. And one thing this is gonna do, some people will actually put this little plastic keeper on or through the middle of the hook to where it actually keeps it stationary. I like to have it free swinging where I feel like I get the bites, or whichever way that spinnerbait's rolling. You know, if it's falling, the hook will come up, the fish will grab it, and I get a lot more fish in the boat that way. So now we're ready to go see if this works. All right, so now we're out here fishing around, covering a lot of water, and this is probably the biggest part of throwing a spinnerbait, especially in these conditions, is, you know, you got to cover a lot of water to find them. If you're not, I mean, you know, if you're not around them, you aren't going to get a bite on it. So you're going to go through a lot of trial and error and trying to find those fish. But we're up on top of these flats, and there's two really main things that I'm looking for when I'm throwing this bait. And you'll see that I'm burning this thing. I'm covering a lot of water, trying to look and see. The water's super clear. I can see down 6 or 7 feet, and I'm sitting in 6 foot. So I'm trying to get an idea if there's some fish around, but I have these sunglasses on, looking and trying to scan and see where there's darker places, lighter places, edges, irregularities in the flat. Because one thing about smallmouth and bass is they're gonna be relating to an irregularity, whether that's a neck down, whether that's a grass patch, whether that's a sand spot. Something's going to be different about, especially if there's a concentration of bass. Something's going to be different with these fish and where they're set up at. So I'm going to constantly be moving, putting this trolling motor on probably 50 or 60% and trying to cover as much water as possible until I run into them. Now when I'm throwing this thing, you know, I'm really burning it, but a lot of times, every once in a while, I'll snap that rod and let it and kill it. Snap it and kill it, because those fish will have a tendency to trail it, especially when you're burning a spinnerbait or burning a bait. The fish are constantly looking and following that bait. So sometimes letting it drop and killing and twitching it gets them to react. And that's what really all it is. They're curious. Smallmouth, they're curious in nature. They want to know what's going on. A lot of times they don't want to bite, but if you can get them to get curious enough to get to following that thing, if you make a little twitch or switch up that cadence in your spinnerbait, a lot of times you get them to commit. So picking that right action rod is really important. You know, right here I'm throwing a 7-foot Martin APC rod, and this rod has a fast tip, but it's more of a parabolic action, and that's really important. But it doesn't bend all the way down the rod. So a medium action rod, you still need a little bit of backbone when you're throwing a spinnerbait, even though you know you want to be able to whip it out there, and you want that first little part of your rod to absorb the shock of the fish biting it. You still need a little big backbone to really drive that hook home and get those fish in the boat. There we go, boys. So I was talking running shallow flats. Come here, buddy. Fish wrecked it. Oh, look how fat that one is. Oh, yeah. Look at that. Tore that spinnerbait all the heck, but man, got the main hook, which is always great. But that trailer hook had him too. If he was trying to get off, we had him double hooked. Man, he got that spinnerbait good. Awesome. Look at that sucker right there. Not a great big one, but a really healthy fish. A white spinnerbait, white blades, a little bit translucent skirt. That swim bait worked pretty well. Hopefully you guys learned a few more things about fishing for smallmouth and throwing a spinnerbait. When the conditions set up like this, pick you up a spinnerbait, get to those shallow flats and cover a lot of water. You'll catch some fish that you might not have known were there. Hey guys, Jacob Wheeler here today. It's a cloudy, cold, windy day in the fall time. And one thing that means is it's time to go fishing shallow, moving a lot of water, covering one more time. To get on that trolling motor and cover some water. It's cold, windy, wet, and Gosh, sorry, Brent, I messed it up. I feel like I get a lot more fish in the boat because they eat a little bit of... When I'm throwing a spinnerbait, especially, I feel like I'm throwing it all the time.